Good morning, Alliance family. Woo-hoo! We're super excited to be here this morning. This amazing call. Thank you, Jane and Andy Albright, to give us the opportunity and trust Jason and me to do this call that is the activity call. Super excited about that. And thank you, Andy Riddle and Angela Riddle, amazing couple that help us so much. And our team, I cannot stop saying how awesome our team are, and we couldn't do it without you guys. So super amazing. And one thing that I'm going to talk today, especially before we start to do the training, because we're going to talk about how my husband, my sexy husband, we're going to how he recruiting. He's awesome doing it recruiting, and how I make sales. So we're doing it together. We doing an amazing job together. So it's not easy. And remember, let me show you this inside the circle, because when I started this company, I said, Jason, before he didn't, we'll tell this story later, but inside the circle is worry about you, not what happened around. Okay, so one of the big events that I want to talk to you guys first is view from the edge. I cannot continue talking about what we're going to do today before talking about view from the edge. That is one of the big events that is going to happen in April from 12 to the 14th. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. Let me tell you, when I went to my first event, changed my life completely. My husband didn't go to the first event. He didn't want to do it. But I said I didn't care, because I was in love with the Alliance at that time when I started 10 years ago. And I still am so happy to be here. And thank you to Andy and Jay to give me that shot. Super excited about that. But view from the edge, from the 12 to the 14, that is like you going to Broadway show. I went to my first one last year, and let me tell you guys, it's something crazy that is going to change your life. It's going to change the perspective of life, how you can grow faster, and what to change in life to be successful. What do you think, Jay?
A view from the edge is awesome. I remember when I did go to my first event. I remember when the Alliance came knocking in our life, our relationship, and Olga was like, I'm going to do this insurance thing. And I was like, oh boy. I was working at what we called Mama Bama, and that is Bank of America Merrill Lynch. And I was a mortgage loan officer doing that. And she had finished up a 25-year career at American Airlines and was working at Dillard's and coming home every day with a couple of little shopping bags. And I'm like, you're leaving all the money up at Dillard's. Like, what are you doing? And then Andy Riddle had posted a notice on the Facebook that this company called the Alliance was hiring. And that had gotten to Olga. And she's like, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, okay, fine, go ahead and do it. And she started doing it and was not wildly successful. But she figured it out about a year and a half later and started making some serious money. And all of a sudden, I was like, what in the heck is going on with my bank account? And I found myself doing insurance part-time. And I read a book by our president and CEO, by Andy Albright, called The Millionaire Maker Manual. And I read that book. And in that book, Andy says, hey, we've trained a lot of great people. But if you want training for me, call my office and come up here and I'll train you. And I went up there and got 3 days of world-class training from Andy Albright. And that's what you've got to do. If you want to change your life, I would suggest that you understand what somebody's resume is. Like, understand who our chairman of the board is, Steve Young, Brian Adams, and Andy Albright, these types of people, like what they've done with their resume. Mark Aceta, who's putting on the View from the Edge, guys, it's 20 days from today. And what I love about A View from the Edge is the world-class training. I call it edutainment. So the edutainment you're going to get there, it's learning. it's learning how to think about where you are at in life from a different perspective. Like, how do you overcome your income inequalities with yourself? You know, maybe you were like me and you didn't graduate high school and get a 1600 on the SAT. And Harvard and MIT was not knocking at your door to give you a scholarship. Maybe you were like that, or maybe you were that person that did that, or maybe you were like my wife who came to America from a different country, didn't get a high school diploma, but got a GED. And so a view from the edge in 20 days, you can still get a ticket, and you should talk to your manager, your agency manager, and see if they have some tickets available. I don't know. The tickets are available, so it's not sold out yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if it sells out before the event. So please do that. You're going to sit there and get to see this, what Marcus Setta has put together. I think he's going to have 17 characters, 20 different characters, and he's going to teach you all of these business principles, sales principles, how to help you communicate with yourself and people. Like, how do you truly communicate with another human being so they actually can listen to you? Because if you have the best information to tell somebody and it's on point and it's 100% accurate, but the way you're presenting it, they just turn off, then that does you no good because you're wasting your time, and that does them no good. So this, A View from the Edge, and what Andy Albright and Marcus Setta have put together through this training program, it's April 12th, 13th, and 14th. You've got to get up there, Raleigh, North Carolina. So get up there and get this, what I'm calling edutainment.
Well, what I'm gonna teach you a little bit about sales. That is what I do. But before that, I'm gonna tell you a little bit how I came to the company, to the Alliance, to this amazing company that I'm so grateful and happy and excited all the time. And I am 10 years with the company, and always say I am in love with the Alliance because it gave me so much opportunities and changed our lives. So I'm so grateful for Andy. Thank God that I found the Alliance. And in 1980, I moved from Colombia. I came illegal. I didn't have not even a visa to come to the United States. So I came from Colombia to Mexico, Bimini, Bahamas, and then Miami. And then from Miami, I went to New York. And I was working in different miscellaneous jobs. I clean houses, I work in restaurants, waitress, dishwasher, whatever.
That was a dream, though.
Yeah.
That was always your dream to come to America.
Oh, yeah, that was my dream to come to America. And finally, that happened. And I was 17. Imagine 17 years old and being in New York with no mom, no dad. That was something crazy. But thank God, God is always with me and always protect me. But I know that was something there for me. I know that was something that God had for me, but I didn't know what. So working in different miscellaneous jobs, I found American Airlines. So all the time people think, oh, you are a flight attendant, you are an agent, a counter agent and all that. No, I used to throw bags into the belly of airplane. I always do this, really strong. You see here, you can see the big muscles. So I worked there putting 150, 200 bags each plane. So my back, my knees, my shoulders are not that good. But I was happy that I have the job. I used to travel everywhere. And I have a timeshare because with easy to stay in a hotel, I didn't have the money to try. I could travel for free, but I didn't have the money to pay for the hotels and all that. So I know that I said, God, I know you have something better for me. And I worked there for 25 years. So imagine my back, my knees, my shoulders, really bad. And then finally, American Airlines give a early retirement. And I took the retirement. Jason said, Olga, take the retirement. Your little body cannot take it anymore. And I said, but Jason, what am I going to do? I don't have no college degree. I don't have a school. Who's going to pay me $25 at that time in 2012? And he said, it's okay, just take the retirement. So I took the retirement. We moved to Jacksonville, and Jason was working for Bank of America at that time. And his friend came to our house and said, hey, why you don't do this business? Financial services. Was hard for me to say financial services. And I said, okay, if you do it, why not? So Jason, to help me, he said, okay, I'm going to do it too. So we signed.
You forced me to take
Yeah,
the
yeah,
class.
yeah.
To tutor
So
you.
I was thinking that maybe he can do the test for me and all that. And I said, Jason can do it, but
That's
no,
a felony.
that cannot happen. That cannot happen. You had to do it yourself. So finally I passed. I went to a hotspot where we get together, and I saw that guy making all the money. I said, what? That guy makes all the money? No way. If that guy makes money, I'm going to make money. So I start to work and work. I thought it was working. And I start to go to see the people making dials. And I was so scared to talk to people. And to be honest with you guys.
But your first couple of dials, like, what did you do though?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Let's get real.
So when I make the first dial, people usually hang up on you, but I hang up on them. When they say hello, I say, and I hang immediately, right? So I was so scared. I said, oh my God. And when I saw Brian Swindell that started at the same time that me, and he was hiding in the closet because he didn't want nobody to see him. And he speak perfect English. Imagine me that I had so much accent. I didn't speak good English. So it was so funny. But to see now how life changed. The first year, to be honest, I made $3,500 in the whole year. Thank God, my husband, Jason, thank you. He was paying for the bills. He gave me the opportunity to grow in the business. And I used to come to the house crying because I didn't make sales. And he said, Olga, when I opened the door, Olga, how many people you help? Oh my God, Jason, don't ask me. And I started to cry because I was making no money. That's why I said to everybody, do not quit. Do not quit, because if you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, you're going to be successful like us. And one of the things that I was that year, the 3,500, I was worried so much. I wasn't producing. I just held my brothers and my uncle and my cousin. That was the only people that I sold. And I didn't know if I really going to do this, but I always said, God, you are always with me. I know I cannot leave this. This is the big opportunity that Andy Albright gave us. I cannot leave this just to look for a job. I don't want to make $12 an hour. I start to work in dealers store. I love to dress up nice and all that. And I worked there $12 an hour. And I knew that every time that I was coming home, what I did, Jay.
Well, I think that was a sales technique by Dillard's to sell clothes to employees with the employee sales discount you got.
Exactly. I was coming to the house every day with a little bag. But
and then you got, when I called you on the carpet about it, you got tricky and started putting them in the trunk of the car.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, you have good memory. But let me tell you, I know that was something. And then when I found the alliance, I said, okay, I'm going to do this, really do it. And I start to travel from Jacksonville to Miami every week, guys. When somebody tells me that, hey, come here and meet me. Oh, but I live an hour away. I used to drive 7. Well, Andy Riddle, he drives super fast. I'm pretty sure he do it in 4 hours. But me, from Jacksonville to Miami was like 6 hours and a half each way for 9 months. I used to come to the meetings, be around the people that was making the money. And that is when I start to get good. So my life changed. I'm going to explain to you. And one thing that I'm going to recommend, a book that I love. I remember that Andy Albright said, read this book, Stop Worrying and Start Living. Okay. So that book changed my life because I used to go to bed so worried because I wasn't making no sales. I was so worried that I said, oh my God, and I don't want to go and come back to the job. I don't want to go to American Airlines to throw bags. And I see this guy, I see this guy that was fixing our roof, changing the whole roof. And I see them how they work so hard. And then when we say, oh my God, making dials is so hard. Hard is what I used to do. Hard is what these people in the roof change, how you say it, changing the roof?
Yeah, roofers.
Roofer.
Roofers,
Oh
yeah.
my God, that is, it's hot, it's raining, and they do it. This is not hard. It's simple. It's hard, but if you keep doing it and you be consistent and persistent, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. So what I'm going to talk, so that book, Stop Worrying and Start Living, will change your life if you are like that right now. Because when I used to go to bed, was like my heart was jumping and I couldn't sleep. And that book helped me a lot to get better, to do the things that I need to do to change my life. Right, Jason? That book helped me a lot.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So how to get better in sales? When I have a new agent, the first thing that I talk to them is NAA University. And one thing that I tell everybody, I didn't go to school, but now I can say I went to NAAU. I went to NAAU because it's at NAA University. Everything is there. All the trainings, the in-house presentation. And you go to NAA University, the first thing is get start quickly. So go to NAA University and then get start quickly. It's super easy to find. And then you click there and you see the phone script. Because one thing when you come to this company is you have to get better in the phone script. So Terry Edwards, that is an amazing guy, amazing couple with Terry and Tia. Both they had an amazing team. They teach really good. They are one of the best in teaching. So I always tell Jason, we have to copy Terry and Tia. We have to copy Terry and Tia. Because they are awesome. They are amazing teachers and all that. So he has his best script. So you can listen to him making dials. You can get a copy of the script and copy.
I gotta say, Terry says he'll be forever grateful that Jason and Olga posted that ad on Craigslist. And what I say to that is, I'm forever grateful he answered it.
Exactly. So one of the things is the next one after you make that, you have the script, you practice, and then is the in-home presentation. We have Brand Swindell that is awesome and in-home presentation. Now we have Michelle Collin. Oh my God, Michelle Collin is one of the best ones in in-house presentation. I'm telling you, if you are new, even if you're not new, you are old, because like me, I have 10 years, I had to go and look to that video because she's the best one right now to show you what to do in the in-house presentation. And the next one is the ATM. You have to have an ATM when you go to a house. Okay, you have to flip an ATM, Alliance Training Manual. ATM is not the ATM that you go and get money, but this one is to print money. Right, Jason?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that I can say is that Michelle Collin, I always tell everybody, all the new agents, guys, you have to listen to Michelle Collin. Go there, put her name, Michelle Collin, okay? And I don't say the word, how to find because it's hard for me, Bolt.
Yeah, video Volt.
Hey, you don't have to be so smart to be in this business. Thank God I have Jason here that he can translate. Okay, so Michelle Collins said 4 things to do when you go to a house that is super awesome. Number 1 is connection. Number 2 is green sheet. This is the green sheet. The green sheet is super important. The why, what is the reason? What is the reason that family is looking for a mortgage protection, a final expenses?
Like what made him fill out the form?
Why? Yeah, the why. And the number 4 that is super important is the budget. Because like I said to people when they said, oh, I want $500 payment, but they can afford it. They make $25,000. They can afford it. I said to them, I want a Ferrari, but I can afford it. So I have another car. So maybe they want the 500, but they can afford it. So it's super important, the budget. So if you do this, Michelle Collins said, you're not going to have a problem. So just listen to her, the in-house presentation. And let me tell you, one of the other things that are super important is the rally points. We have a rally point here in Fort Lauderdale. Michelle Collin and Brian Rojas, they have a rally point there in their office. And the other day
What is a rally point?
Okay, good question, Jason. Thank you. The rally point is where people get together to make dials, okay? And you can see and you can hear what they say wrong. Like yesterday, we have a new guy here that was saying something like, something completely different. He wasn't following the script.
So they get the leads that people filled out, the clients see the advertisement somewhere, and then all the clients have filled out that information, give us their height, their weight, their date of birth, if they smoke or not.
Correct.
Maybe how much the monthly payment is, maybe their beneficiary's name. And they come to this rally point and they get to listen to people like you who are awesome, people like Michelle Colin or Brian Rojas, right?
So I have a brand new agent that about 2 weeks ago, Shelly, right?
Shelly Frisbee?
She went 2 weeks ago to the hospital in Tampa, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the good thing about Shelly, the good thing about Erica Gold that lives in Fort Lauderdale, the good thing about Olivia is they calling us every single day. People say, oh, I don't want to bother you. I don't want to call you because I'm bad. No, bother me. More you bother me, more I'm going to pay attention to you. So Erica called me like 10 times, sometimes 20 times. And if I cannot call her, I said, I call you later. Olivia, the same. But Shelly, she called me and said, hey, Olga, I talked to Jason. I had everything ready. So I start to practice with her with the script. And then I said, look, let me talk because she's in Tampa. So let me call Michelle Collin. Let me see if you can go and see her, because who is not better than her to Shelly go and listen? Better than me, because she do an amazing job. So she went there. And so I text Michelle and said, Michelle, I have a new agent. Blah, blah, blah. And she said, yeah, no problem. I said, can she go Thursday? I said, no, because I'm going to the Living Trust training. And I said, okay, what about Monday? He said, Monday she can come. When Monday came, this past Monday, she came and she went to see Shelly. Not Shelly went to see Michelle. It's Ryan, right? The name's Michelle, Shelly. So Shelly called me all fired up. He said, oh my God, this Michelle is amazing. I'm ready to make dials. Usually new people don't say that. I didn't say that. No way, don't give me leads. I don't want to talk to nobody. But this girl, she's 26 years old. She said, I'm ready. She works in a restaurant, I think California Pizza Kitchen. She's a waitress there. And she said, I'm not scared. I'm ready. He said, okay, let me send you leads right now. So we worked really quick. We gave her leads. And she started to make dials in front of Michelle. And guess what? She called me and said, Olga, I did 4 appointments. And let me tell you,
she talked, the leads that we sent her were 2 to 5 years old.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what I want to say. 10 people. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for reminding me. That is not a new lead. This is all leads like everybody start. I tell all new agents, you don't want to start with brand new leads. You have to practice. You have to get used to these old leads. And she said, no problem. And I sent it to her and she started to make dials. She made 10 contacts for appointments. That was amazing. The next day, I told her we practiced that night, what you're going to do, what you do when you go to a house. I told her, listen to Michelle Collin in-house presentation multiple times. And she listened. That is the good thing, that she listened. Erica listened to Olivia when we tell them. And other agents, obviously, when they really want to do it, they listen, and they do exactly how we tell them. And she went to the house. I said, you can do this. I'm going to be here. No worries. I told her, test Gina, me, Jason, just in case that I cannot answer Jason, or if Gina cannot do it, I can do it. And she called me and I said, do not call me until you finish the green sheet. Because sometimes people tell you, I said, okay, any medications? And then she started to say, Jason, do you take any medications? No, I told you, call me when you have everything. And how tall the person is. Jason, how tall you are? How much you weigh? Come on, guys. You have to finish the whole everything. The information is here. How tall, how much you weigh, smoker, not smoker, what medication, if they have money, everything is here. Okay. So guess what? She did what I told her. She had 4 seats, 1 sale. Woo! Super excited. She did a 1 sale. Okay. So Wednesday, she called me and said, Olga, I had to make dials. Michelle is not there. And that is what I like about her. She didn't care that nobody was there. She started to make dials. He said, Olga, I had to change my life. I don't want to be a server for all the rest of my life. I want to really grow in this company. And she started to make dials with the same all leads. And guess what? She called me and said, I have 5 appointments for Thursday, yesterday. And from 5 appointments, she sit with 3 people. And the funny part is this. She didn't help the other people for some reason. She was calling and all that. The last one, she didn't call me. She sent a text. And he said, Olga, I cannot do nothing in this house because she's all covered. The mom is insured, the dad is insured, the grandma is insured, the kids are insured. There's nothing to do here. And then I immediately call her because I don't want her to leave the house. I said, Shelly, tell me about what they have. And then we found out what they have. And I start to ask more questions. And guess what? She left the house with 2 applications, 1 cancer policy and an IULE application for the daughter. And she's going to come back to do more. So thank God she's following the system. Thank God she's doing it. Thank God she's not afraid. Just go and do it. Fail fast. Okay? John Maxwell said, uphill. It's not going to be easy. Success is uphill. So keep doing it and doing it until you are successful. The good thing that Erica, Olivia, and Shelly do is they call me all the time and call Jason. They call both of us. So that is the good thing. Bother oh my God, this girl that used to bother Mike Lavintovich all the time.
Wood, Megan?
Yeah, Megan Wood.
Yeah.
Used to bother them like 20, 30 times. And look how good she is. She's #1 in sales in the whole company. Okay, so that's amazing. Okay, so do that. And what I'm going to talk to is a little bit about basics. Basics when you go to a house. Okay, so
And before you, can I say something
yeah,
before you get on? I
please
just, when you're recruiting, what amazes me is, why is it that, a Shelly Frisbee, an Erica Gold, a Terry Edwards, an Olivia Martin, where do they get it in their DNA that they can just understand a resume and just do? It's, Andy Albright, they can hit, a Shelly Frisbee can talk to Olga and have this belief, and Olga says, hey, do this, and she does it. How does Erica, talk to an Olga, and then she starts to do, and Erica's in the top 20 in sales in the nation, and she's teaching Olivia Martin the same thing. So how do you find these?
And by the way, I'm sorry, Erica last month, 23,000 issue pay, and Olivia Martin, 15,000 issue pay. And Erica did agency manager in 9 months, 26 years old, 9 months. She's super hungry to get successful fast. And now she's teaching Olivia, and Olivia did for the first time $15,000, and she's recruiting, and she's selling, and they sell mortgage protection, they sell final expenses, current clients in the house, they make phone calls from the house, they go out and visit families. So that is the good thing, that they do everything and they're not scared.
Yeah, and so it's crazy.
And they follow the system.
Yeah, so you see it in Terry's team with me and a bunch of other, I don't want to start mentioning names, but you see it in Erica Gold's team with Olivia, and Olivia with Mike.
Yeah.
With David. And so what do they do? they talk to a lot of people. You know, we found Shelly. Shelly was working at California Pizza Kitchen looking for an opportunity. So
Yeah.
I just, you know, when you recruit people, you don't so much as make them, but you find them and then you plug them into this fertile soil called integrity, the Alliance, and what Young and Adams and Albright have set up. People can grow and build a massive agency business within the business model.
That's right. So the 4 basics that I'm going to talk is 4 basics. If you do these 4 basics, you're going to be successful. Believe me, trust me, because I didn't do the 4 basics before. Now I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm looking for annuities. I didn't do that before. I'm looking to do more IULs, Index Universal Life. I'm doing more. Why? Because I'm following the 4 basics. So number 1 basic is get a check or call the person that is helping you. So number 1 is get a check. If you're not going to get a check, don't leave the house. I remember this agent, brand new agent, that I told her, don't leave the house without calling me. And she left the house and called me and said, oh no, she has already a policy and with Primerica and we cannot help them anymore. I said, oh my God, come back to the house. I made her come back to the house. He said, but I left already. He said, you 5 minutes from the house, come back because this is going to be a sale. You're going to help this guy. And she sold 1 policy. So since that day, she never leave the house without calling me. So that's great. So number 1 is get the check or call because we're going to help you like I did with Shelly. She was right. Thank God she texted me. And I call immediately before she leave the house. And because when you ask more questions, and if, okay, let me check the policy, how long you have the policy, it's a whole life, it's a term, let me see how I can help you with something better, or maybe I can add more. Now we have so much product, the living benefits, the chronic, critical, terminal, we have so much, critical, cancer, stroke, heart attack, so it's so much that we can help the client. Number 2 is what I said before, the green sheet. This is super important to do because everything that you're going to do in a house, everything that you want to ask to know if they have money, here everything it is, how tall, how high, smoker, not smoker, do you have a policy? So we're going to know if they had a policy, if what medication they take, if they have a house, if they rent, how much types of debt, how many credit cards, savings, mutual funds, stocks, 401ks, IRAs, annuities. So everything is here. So if you follow the system, it's hard not to be successful.
And what I love about the green sheet is, you know, it talks about, you know, the stocks, the mutual funds, the bonds, the IRAs, annuities, and those you don't have to be experts at because we've got Christopher Norris and Amber Bowen and their team that is. So if you get this information over to them, guess what they can do? They can handle it, manage it, and advise you what to do with that client with that bucket of money or whatever the plans are with that money, because they have the licensing and the knowledge and the expertise to do it.
Correct. And the next one, so number 1 is get a check or call the person that is helping you. Number 2 is the green sheet. And number 3 is the emergency response system. Okay, the emergency response system is the referral that you're going to get. And the best person to get referrals is Brian Rojas. You have to go and listen to his video. Because people said, oh my God, Anna, I was in this company, but I wasn't too happy because they don't have training. When they come here, they get overwhelmed of so much training. If you really want to learn, you go to any university, everything is there. So you don't have no excuse to say, I don't know how to do emergency response system. Ryan Rojas, in emergency response system, he is crazy good. Okay, so listen to his video because you're going to learn a lot how to get these free leads. This is free leads. And when you are in a house, and this person give you a referral, they gonna, the friend, the mother, the sister, the cousin, they're gonna buy faster because they trust you more because you already helped the mom or the dad. So that's why this one is really, really good.
Yeah.
The emergency
And
response.
the emergent and the Brian Adams, the CEO of Integrity, did, I mean, world-class training on a product he has developed. I think it was 18 or 20 years ago, called the Legacy Safeguard, and it's just gotten better and better every single year. So that's another awesome product to help more families and get referrals. And of course, the prescription card, which actually saves people on their prescription. I actually used a prescription card a couple years ago and got Florida Blue health insurance, and I just pulled it out. That I was paying X amount of dollars with the Florida Blue prescription, and then I just pulled that out and used it. And that card actually saved me more money using that prescription card. So it actually works. So you should definitely use it and help your clients save money and help more families.
God, that puppy look cute. Look good with that blue. Okay, let's get serious. Okay, so the number 4 basics is, number 1 is get a check or call you person that is helping you. Number 2 is the green sheet. Number 3 is the emergency response system. And number 4 is recruit across the table. Jason is who is in charge of all the recruiting, but I recruit too across the table. Let me give you let me tell you what happened about 2 weeks ago. We are excited about these Spanish IULs. Super excited. Finally, after 10 years, that I remember that I was talking to Meche and Gustavo in that time, we say, oh my God, you imagine if we have Spanish leads, but everything was in English. So I really miss Gustavo right now because he's so happy right there with God because he knows that Meche is doing amazing job with these Spanish IULs. And I called this lady last week the first week that I had the IUL, that was 2 weeks ago. And I talked to this lady, her name is Millie, and I talked to her. She's looking for a retirement plan, and I explained what is an IUL, an Index Universal Life.
And she saw the advertisement that Albright brought to the table.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy, to give this opportunity again with the IUL in Spanish and now the Living Trust.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about Jason doing that.
Well, what I was going to say about the IUL stuff is what I love about Andy and his resume and his clout is he's able to vet. I mean, guys, finding a legit quality business or person that will do leads is like, I'm telling you, you could spend 100 hours a week doing it and you could do 52 weeks a year, 100 hours a week and not find anybody. So with Andy's resume, he's able to do a lot faster. So he brought on this company and he had vetted them out and brought them on, and we started using them. And go ahead and tell the story in your first week.
And we are fired up. Meche and me is like, we cannot sleep thinking about it. I say, oh my God, this is amazing. This is crazy. So made me think like when Andy started with the mortgage protection, that everybody was super crazy. So we are fired up about that. Thank you, Andy, again, and Jane. But this lady, I help her with $500 IUL. The amazing thing is that I never, ever sold a policy from my house.
$500 a month.
A month.
Okay.
$500 a month. And I was in my house, in my desk, selling this lady that I don't even do it on Zoom call, nothing. I just talked to her, say, this is Olga. And I told her who I was. And I ended selling at $500 a month IUL. And then
you didn't go to the house.
No, I didn't go to the house.
Zoom or anything like that.
No. And Erica and Olivia, they are really good. And Janina too, Janina Harich, they are amazing making sales from the house. They don't even go to the client's house. So they are really good. But me, I'm not that good. But let me tell you, I sold $500 IUL. And then I was so excited with this lady. She's Spanish. She's 43 years old. She has one daughter that is 17. They are from Venezuela, really smart lady. And she's in this country for 8 years. And she's always looking and looking to do something better. So number 4, basics, is recruit across the table. So I talked to her about the business. I talk about, hey, you can do what I'm doing right now. You speak Spanish, you speak English, so you can do, or even if you don't speak English, but you're supposed to learn how to speak English, right? I'm getting better there. So she said, yes, of course. So I said, hey, why you don't come to my house? I want to meet you. I want you to meet my husband, and I want to see your daughter and all that. Remember, connection. So she came to our house.
But wait a second. You told me that she called you up and said, oh my God, Olga, I don't even know you. I've never met you. I didn't go to an office. I gave you my social security, my banking information. I don't know if you're legit. And then you were telling me, you were like, hey, she's coming over to check us out to make sure we're legit.
Yeah.
Right.
But the crazy thing is that I said, okay, what is your social? What is this? What is your bank account? And she was giving me everything. She was driving from her job to her house. And I start to ask for everything right there because I want to close the deal. And you have to take it when they are hot, like they want it and they are excited. So you cannot wait for the next day. You have to do it right there. You have to try to make the close right there. When she gave me everything, she said, oh my God, Olga, I gave you everything. Oh my God, I don't even know you. I never see your face. I don't know who you are. Maybe you're not a real. I said, calm down. No worries. You can come and meet me tomorrow. No worries. This is the best thing for your family. And she started to feel better. And then I called her again. And I said, oh my God, I was so afraid that I said, oh my God, I lost all my money in my bank. I lost all my everything. Yeah, so she came to our house and everything, and she's fired up. Yesterday in our hotspot, she came for the first time. And by the way, that policy with F&G, the IUL, for $500 got approved, and the issue date was yesterday, the 20th. Tomorrow, yesterday was the 20th, right?
The 21st was yesterday.
Oh, so the 20th was supposed to take the money. So she came to the husband and said, Olga, why F&G is not taking my money yet? I said, no worries, it's going to be maybe tonight or tomorrow. And she came to the husband, not just her. She came with a guest. She came with his a friend that wanted to do something different. He wanted to do an IUL too, $500 IUL. The sister wanted to do an IUL. The daughter wants to do. So it's crazy when you do the 4 basic.
And she said she had an old 401k too.
Oh yeah. She said yesterday, Olga, I have like 40,000 in my old 401k. I don't know what to do. I'm losing money. So that right there, I said, well, get you license quick. You had a week to finish it and you do it yourself and you make the money yourself. Right?
Yeah. She said she'd been losing money for years in it. And
yeah. Okay. So that is the 4 basics, and really fired up about the opportunity that we had in this business, fired up about to see this, like I see Marnie and Sabrina, how much they help their team. They training all the time, trainings, Jimmy, Danny, all the time in trainings, Sean and Taylor and all that. And to see Rachel and Jared and Janina and Gustavo, and they're right now in North Carolina getting training to another new thing that Andy Bright. Thank you, Andy, again, because another opportunity about.
Yeah, so there again, somebody's resume. Can you simply look at Steve Young's resume, Brian Adams' resume, Andy Albright's resume, and see what they've done and follow a great leader. All great leaders are great followers. So he's brought on this guy that's a national trainer, Scott Garcia, and Christopher Norris checked him out, did a full look under the hood, and estate planning, doing that type of estate planning, the transfer of wealth from one generation to the next, looking at tax mitigation strategies and how do you do that? How do you set that up and be compliant? So he's brought that on, and has a whole marketing system, another business in a box. I mean, and it's absolutely phenomenal. The system is they call it the 21st century digitized system. It's all digital. It's not the old, do it on paper. You can change your stuff. You know, your client can change it from their kitchen to, it's absolutely amazing. And Scott Garcia, guys, you've got to meet this kid. He is a world. Andy Albright, once again, vets him out, checks him out, and has brought on another world-class person who's doing a nationwide rollout with us on this estate planning stuff. So if you haven't met Scott Garcia, I think there's several hundred people up at NEA Corporate right now, at our headquarters in Burlington, North Carolina. And Scott Garcia is doing some training with several hundred people, talking about this estate planning stuff. So we're super excited about that, and what he's doing with that.
Yeah, and so proud of Terry and Tia. Her team is growing so much. Is there, how you say, exploding?
Blowing up.
Blowing up. Okay,
Yeah.
blowing up. And Mia Fennell, and now I see Beth Island, 40,000 issue paid in a month. That's not crazy. That's crazy. Kathy Hepburn, she's there in North Carolina getting training too. So many people there getting training. So we fired up, and to see I'm doing Medicare now. We have so much. You don't have to go nowhere else. Everything is here. We had a new couple that came from Miami that they have an agency. They're looking to work in life. They work more.
Ariel and
Amarellis, something like that.
Yeah, that's a tough name for me.
Yeah.
Amarellis. Okay, yeah, fired up about them. What 50 people already. These guys are true leaders, have a retail office already. They're not broke. So super excited about them, to start working with them and what they're going to do in the agency.
Yeah, so Jason, I want you to now I have to give you opportunity to talk about
a little bit about recruiting.
Recruiting. Oh my God.
And how I do that. Yeah. Oh God. You know, recruiting, I'll tell you, really, recruiting is an inside job. Recruiting is all about how well you listen to people. So what I say is this, they call it EQ, your emotional intelligence. And they're saying it's become more important how you interact with people and relate to others. It's even more important than your IQ, your emotional intelligence. So when you talk with a potential recruit, be it a friend, somebody in your warm market, maybe you talked to President's Club and you posted an ad on ZipRecruiter, or you posted on Craigslist. Like, you could imagine, I talked to over 3,000 people when I posted on Craigslist, and I found one Terry and Tia.
That's right.
Now, I found other people, right,
we are blessed with Terry and Tia.
Absolutely. I found other people that helped other families, but we found one Terry and Tia. And when you start to recruit and talk to people, you really have to listen to where they're at. And that takes stamina to listen to them, because you're really interviewing them. You really want to find out where they're at. Because if you don't, and you start talking about how this is or that is over here, you don't know what they want to hear. Like, if they want to find out like how our culture is, and you know, how we're going to help them, and do we do right, and that's ride-alongs are important to them, and you start talking about, you know, something else, well, that they're not going to hear that. That's not what they want to talk about. So you have to do that. When I recruit, I'm looking for people that know how to judge somebody's resume. And I'm really looking for people who know how to judge their own resume. Like when the Alliance came knocking on my door and my family's door, I was like, okay, all right, Olga's going to do this thing. I'm going to stay over here at Mama Bama. I'm going to claw my way into lower middle management as high as I can get. Cause you know, I've already mentioned, Harvard and MIT wasn't knocking. I didn't make a 1600 on the SAT. And I'm looking for people who know how to really understand where they're at in life. And they know that there's money in insurance. And what I like to tell people is, guess what? In this business, you don't have to know algebra or calculus. All you got to know is somebody filled out a lead. Somebody saw an advertisement. There's no free giveaway. You got to call them up and help them out. That's all you got to do. And if they can understand that and they want to be like a Shelly Frisbee and start making dials with some leads that are a little bit older, and go see a Michelle Colin to get some training. And then they start, hey, I listened to Michelle for a couple of hours and now I'm ready to go get some more of these. Like, that's what you're looking for, Olga. You're looking for people that'll just go out there and start somehow, like an Erica Gold, an Olivia Martin, a Shelly Frisbee, who will somehow just find within themselves that they're going to start listening and doing. And when I'm recruiting, I'm like, the only thing I'm looking for is, will they do what they say they're going to do? So I don't try to stay on the phone with them too long. I really don't try to stay. I give them 15, 20 minutes. And then we book a meeting from that meeting, book a meeting from a meeting. We call it BAM Fam. And I see if they show up to the next meeting. And if they do, I'm fired up. And if they don't, I simply call them up or text them and be like, hey, look, we had a meeting scheduled. What's up? Are you okay? Let's get you rescheduled. And I just keep them. I follow up with them. But will they do it? Will they follow their own schedule they set? Like, I don't care if people are going to work 100 hours a week or if they're going to work 20 hours a week. But will they work the time that they say they're going to work? You know, like I remember, God, I'll tell you this story. We hired this girl named Maria. She's no longer with us. She'd been working 5 years at a big retail insurance agency. And our office just happened to call her up right after, like the day she had her annual review with the owner of that agency. And she was all kinds of upset because during her annual review, her boss told her that he was fired up about her and he had made $200,000 off of her production and he was paying her $48,000 a year. And she asked for a pay raise and he said he thought her compensation was appropriate for her level of work. And she was telling me during the interview that she opens the office, he closes the office. She said that his nickname in the office was High Noon. I'm like, why is that? She said he comes in the office about noon every day. They called him High Noon. So, and she's like, I'm PO'd about it and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, you'd be a perfect fit. That was like on a Tuesday. Thursday, she comes over to the office. She signs up everything. She gets $1,000 in leads on Thursday. I'm like, okay, so come over Monday morning to this rally point. You're going to start to dial all these clients that want your help, and Olga's going to coach you. Be here at 9 a.m. sharp. She's like, I'll be here at 9 a.m. sharp. She's like, do you like donuts? I'm like, I love donuts. So she's like, I love Boston cream. She's like, I'm going to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a donut. I'm like, okay. So Monday morning rolls around, 10 o'clock rolls around. Maria's not here. I text her. I'm like, hey, Maria, are you okay? Because this girl was all kinds of fired up. About 20 minutes later, she texts back, oh my God, you won't believe what happened. I'll explain it when I get there. About noon comes rolling in, 12 noon. She comes rolling. I'm like, hey, Maria, what happened? She's like, oh my God, you won't believe what happened. My mom knows that I'm not working anymore. and she roped me in to help me paint the inside of her house. And we didn't finish this weekend, and I had to finish up on Monday. And I'm like, it's interesting. I said, what would your boss at that big retail branch office would have said if you didn't come in till noon? She's like, no, I've got to open the office at 8 o'clock every morning. He would have never allowed that. He would have written me up or fired me or taken away my bonus that quarter. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, Maria. Why not just tell your mom that your boss will not allow you to paint the house on Monday morning? She's like, well, she knows I don't have a boss. I'm like, Maria, you got to have boss Maria in you and employee Maria inside of you. Okay. So she gets on the phone, she dials, she makes appointments, she makes sales that week. I'm like, be here Thursday, back on the phone, book appointments for Friday, Saturday. Thursday comes. She's going to be here at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock comes around on Thursday. No, Maria. Hey, Maria, are you okay? What's up? Oh my God. You won't believe what happened. I'll tell you about it when I get there. She gets there at high noon again. Maria, what happened? Oh my God. Well, you don't know this, but my mother is really big on 21st birthdays. And I had to go to Party City with my mom this morning. My brother, you don't know him, is turning 21 this weekend. And we had to go get everything. And I had to go with her. And I'm like, Maria, I'm starting to see a pattern here. This goes on for 6 months. Okay. And she's like, she calls me and Olga up 6 months later. She goes, Jason, Olga. What's up, Maria? She's like, I got to talk to you. I'm not making any money. I'm like, yeah, I bet you can't stick to a schedule. She's like, I got to come over. She comes over. She talks to me. I'm like, Maria, are you the type of person that needs a boss? Because you're finding it difficult to have boss Maria and employee Maria.
That's right.
Needless to say, Maria did not work out. So find people that are entrepreneurial spirit and want to work and can stick to a schedule.
That's right. So one thing that I'm going to say, thank you so much for everything. But this book, The 8 Steps of Success, is the #1 book that you're supposed to read. This is really good. I give this to the new agents, so it's good to read. And one, especially if you work with your husband, and remember, it's not easy to work with your husband, right? It's not easy.
What about a wife?
Exactly. So we have to work together as a couple. So inside the circle, it's super important that you read. And the book that I told you, if you are super worried like I was and couldn't even sleep and all that, Start Worry, Start Living, Dale Carnegie. So thank you so much. Love you guys and have a great weekend.
Ciao,
Bye-bye.
Alliance.
Ciao.
Have a great day.